said he's just a friend.
Brand new edition of Getting right here on the BigVitoBrand.com, on Twitch, on Anchor, wherever you can listen to podcasts or watch podcasts. I am Virtue, being joined by the man himself, Big Vito LaGrasso, the former WCW Hardcore Champion, in which he defeated the legendary Terry Funk. What's up, Vito?
How's everybody out there? Hope everybody's having a great night. Tonight is Money in the Bank match, right? Isn't there Money in the Bank tonight?
That is correct, and the kickoff match already happened, and guess what? Jimmy DUI Uso and Jay became the tag team champions as they defeated the Mysterios.
Are you serious?
They did. And it was a dirty finish, dusty finish, or whatever you call it. A little bit of, heel tag team action for them to win the titles, but nonetheless, they are the champions once again. And with Roman being the Universal Champion, there is more gold in the family. Will Roman retain against Edge tonight?
I'm shocked that the Usos got the title.
Yep, they did. And you know how it goes. That's WWE's way. That's their way of punishing. Put you down,
I am totally shocked. You just stunned me. That's like, everybody was getting on Tamina, right, for her to win the Money in the Bank. Yeah. And they said, I know Aaron put up something like in a joke, but it's not far-fetched for her to win because she is part of the family.
That's true. I mean, some people are giving Naomi, I can't even say her name, because she's married to Jay. Maybe she'll go to SmackDown and become part of the family too. But it's not like Tamina's actually part of the family, not through marriage.
I just... I'm kind of shocked. You just shocked me that they won the titles. That is a mind blower. But
yeah,
I know you have a star-studded, action-packed thing today. But something pissed me off today.
Well, you want to start with that?
Yes.
Okay. Indulge me.
Dave Meltzer criticized Vince Russo for the AEW run-in with a fan. And he blamed Russo when the guy who did it, who jumped the ring, admitted that he did it in the name of Jim Cornette. Now, I read this on Twitter. It twisted my balls. Dave Meltzer works for Tony Khan, right?
Basically.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Guys, I know we always are passive here, and I don't judge nobody. I don't try to hurt nobody. But this Dave Meltzer is a piece of fucking shit. Okay? He puts out bullshit, and every one of you guys fucking buy into it. And the fact that the guy admitted that Jim Cornette is the reason he did it, and to mention Vince Russo's name. Why are you mentioning Vince Russo? And Vince answered him on Twitter, I have not watched AEW in 6 months. What the fuck are you talking about, Dave Meltzer?
It's an agenda.
You're working for your boss, right? So I go on there. I defend Vince because he's my buddy, because nobody else defends him, but I do. Every time somebody comes up, that guy said, Dave Meltzer, you're a fucking jerk off. Because you print bullshit and everybody fucking looks at it. And you could tell Tony Khan I fucking said so. I would love for me and Vince Russo to walk in at AEW. That would be the biggest ratings boost. They would fucking shit their pants.
Vito, look, for No DQ, I do stuff for No DQ and Aaron Rift. And, I'm not going to lie. He posts a lot of Meltzer news. And it's just so irritating because I know there are other people out there that get legit news that have a high accuracy rate. And they're laughed at because Meltzer, PWI guys like Mike Johnson or whatnot, Dave Scherer, Wade Keller, they have such a grip on wrestling fans. That's who everybody wants to believe.
I know we got Fat Vortex, Jeski's in the house. Guys, I got to say it the way it is, and you guys know I speak my mind. You're a fucking asshole, Dave Meltzer. You're a fucking jerk-off. I can't fucking stomach you. I hope you fucking say something about me because I'm not that far from Jacksonville. I'll come down there and crack your fucking head open because I really don't give a flying fuck. You're an asshole. You're a fucking a minus on the wrestling business. You're the scurv. You hang out with the fucking lowlives. You fucking do shit that fucking says, you talk about the business from WWE to Impact to fucking AEW to everybody just because you're a fucking sniveling, jock sniffing bitch. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit.
You know what you just did, Vito? I will be taking some time between tonight and tomorrow morning and doing this clip for Twitter and Facebook. Good. I have no choice. And to snitch, I'm not snitching on you, but you have people will listen to you more because you were in the business versus me, little sidekick guy here. So that's why I'm using it. I'm glad you said that.
No, because it's the fucking truth. It takes away from the people who are real true journalists and the people who look at the wrestling business and try to be true blue and have a good opinion about it. But when you say this fucking bullshit, Vince Russo fucking did this and Vince Russo did that. Vince Russo doesn't bother nobody in the fucking wrestling business. He minds his business. And this is what pisses me off, right? Vince Russo is not a tough guy. He's not a fighter. He's not nothing. He's not a slouch. He's not a fucking pissant, right? Everybody takes a fucking shot at him, right? I'm waiting for somebody to fucking say something to me. I'm waiting.
Well,
because I'm armed. I'm fucking ready. Because this is fucking bullshit. And you could bury Jim Cornette, but at least he speaks his mind and he's wrestling oriented. It might not come out great in presentation, right? But what he speaks is the truth. Vince Russo, when he gives his analytic and his honest opinion about the wrestling business, right? People listen, but the guy drew ratings in every company he had, right?
And so it's no secret, Vito, even in WCW, even in his, when he had everything against him, right, in 2000, when he was there versus the time before, the few months worth of shows before and the shows after he left, that rating group of the shows he did, even if it was small, was technically higher, which did not show decline. It showed increase. Doesn't matter if it was a small amount, mathematically, it showed increase.
Look, guys, let me tell you something. The invasion angle that would make money. Vince Russo, Big Vito, invade fucking AEW. No, really, shit. You know what? Money. And that would fucking top anything that you have going on for fucking SummerSlam. All right? And we'll put a fucking hit on somebody. And we'll make fucking money. And that is the goddamn truth. And this is not bullshit. This is not I'm fucking ready to roll. I'm in shape. I'm good. All right? Everybody knows I've been training. Everybody knows I'm coming back to wrestling. What better way than to come back with a fucking big to-do than to fucking stick it up Meltzer's ass and freaking draw ratings on Tony Khan's show. And this is nothing against the boys at AEW. Nothing against Tony Khan. But when you have your fucking puppets say bullshit and just to prove a point, I guarantee you ratings will go up if Russo and Vito show up on AEW and we're there. And if we're there in an important angle where it's face to face, I bet you any amount of money we get over 1 million views.
That's the old school way of doing business, Vito. You'd think that somebody would smarten them up to figure that out.
Hey, what about, you want to talk about doing stuff, really doing stuff, good stuff, right? How about showing up on the WWE brand, right? And you show up with Vince Russo and his old buddy, his bodyguard, Big Vito LaGrasso, right there by his side, right? You don't think the place would come off the roof? And
then you trickle in others. You trickle in others to make maybe Disco Inferno, maybe Enzo. I know he had nothing to do with you guys before, but he fits your mold. And you draw buzz with people that can talk and draw heat.
But when it comes to 1-2, right? This is not adding it. It's just like the initiative, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
You have one guy. You have Vince. You have me who does all the dirty work. And everybody knows I'm fucking... Everybody can say what they want about me, but everybody knows when it comes to work in the wrestling business, it happens. And when they give me the ball, it happens. There is no slouching. There is no taking a day off. There is no bullshit. There's no time off. There is no, like, I got to play the game. I go to wrestle and I go to do my business. And that's why I'm believable. And no matter what any scribe could say, anybody out there, they cannot knock my work. They could not say I took a day off. They could say everybody says I'm underrated and didn't get the credit I should have. And I should have did more in the wrestling business if I would have played the politic game. But I didn't. I wanted to be known for my wrestling, not for my bullshit backstage.
Well, Vito, we got some topics to still cover tonight. You ready for those? Want to blow through those?
Yes. Let me look at the chat. People don't know Russo trained at Rogers. It's true. I'd love to join that movement. Khan and AEW fear Vito. You got it. The marks know, but AEW book it due to their own mark politics. Money in the Bank update. Money in the Bank update. Do we have one?
No, because I do not have it on live. It just started. The pre-show we talked about. Usos won.
The Usos won. Women's match is starting.
Yeah.
Women's match is starting. That should be pretty good. Who do you got tonight for the women's match?
Gosh, I didn't do the predictions for No DQ, but
the hell with them. They're a second-rate show.
I know, but Asuka's in it. I'm gonna say Naomi. Why not, right? Because
Alexa Bliss is there.
Yeah,
Tamina's there.
I'm gonna go with Naomi because maybe that'll get her moved to SmackDown. She cashes in, wins a title, and she joins the family, and they grow even more like the mob, the mafia. I don't know.
Nikki Cross is there. Liv Morgan is there. Alexa Bliss is just standing there. I love it. She's got probably one of the best gimmicks in wrestling. And I think I stated this on before. Everybody who's on the injured list should join Alexa Bliss and she should put them in the dungeon. Natty's in there. Sasha's in there. Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Tamina. And there you got Alexa Bliss in the middle doing her thing. I think it's awesome. She's staring at the case right now. Now, Virtue.
What about the men's match?
I don't know.
There's a lot in there. Like Seth Rollins is in there. Kevin Owens, I think. I'm going to be bold. You know who I'm going to say? And it might be Markish, but I'm going to say him. Riddle. I'm going to say Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle to win.
Look, Otis won it last year. Come on. Matt Riddle at least has credibility because his matches are really good because he's a pretty decent worker. He's still learning the ropes, but I'm going to go Riddle.
Riddle for the men's match. I got to say it's going to be somebody who they could feud with Roman.
So Seth maybe? Rollins?
It's got to be somebody different because they already used Cesaro. They used Seth Rollins. They used fucking Kevin Owens. They used They don't have any players. It's got to be somebody fresh and new. Somebody to come out of the dark, out of the woodwork. Are there any surprises for this Money in the Bank? Did they project a mystery opponent?
No, but if you remember one year, Brock came out of nowhere and won it. Remember?
Yes, that's what
you never know. Thinking. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar to come out. Now, if Brock Lesnar does come out, does Paul Heyman escort him to the ring?
That'd be interesting.
Conflict of interest?
That would be interesting.
Big E is in there.
Oh yeah, he could be the favorite because everyone's fans are expecting a push.
I got some wrestling nostalgia here. If somebody could help me out with this, okay? You like this, Virtue.
Okay.
Jim Cornette, okay? He was a manager of some great tag teams. Was he the manager of two tag teams at the same time in the same company fighting each other?
I want to say yes in WWF, I think. But I'd have to go back and look exactly who. Because remember when he had Camp Cornette?
Right. But I think in Memphis and USWA, he was the I think he had the Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't he have there was the
I don't know. He always had the Midnight Express, but I don't know where and when. Right. And then who was Tom Pritchard? Who was Tom Pritchard? Didn't he have like the Heavenly Bodies or whatever they were called?
Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah,
But he did manage the Rock and Roll Express at one time.
that's right.
So I think there was a program. Guys, if you could look this up when you're doing this and come back next week, that would be awesome to challenge us here. I'm going USWA, and this is like just from what I know from Southern Wrestling. I think Jim Cornette did manage 2 tag teams in the same company, and then there was a split on who he had to choose.
Yep. And then you're basically correlating that, whether it happened or not, to say it
Right.
did, you're correlating that to Heyman with Lesnar and Reigns.
With Lesnar and Reigns. Now,
Yeah.
where's Heyman's loyalty?
Good point.
Let's
Stay tuned. We got
Stay
it. Right?
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're going to blow through some of these. So thoughts on fans back in attendance at wrestling shows, Vito. Does it matter? Obviously it does, right? For watching it on TV, you like to see the fans and hear them react. But does it really change booking? Booking could still suck. So with the fans back, do AEW and WWE, do they have a fire lit under their ass now to put some better creative out there? Or are we going to – because, without the fans, without having to draw for house shows, maybe they mailed it in during the pandemic. What do you think here?
House shows and fans. It depends. When they were doing house shows before the pandemic, they couldn't fill the stadiums, and they couldn't fill, and they were blocking everything off.
Do you think, though, these companies, now that the fans are back, right, barring there's no more shutdown,
Right.
are they going to have better creative? Are they going to try to make things more exciting? Or are we just going to get the stagnant BS crap that we've got? Other than a few things like the Roman storyline and stuff like that, are they going to step it up now?
They might. The Cornette Dynasty in '83, 3-man team, just so everybody was up. I gotta say, and then from what we're reading here, '84 had Dennis Corley and Bobby Eaton, then Stan Lane and Big Bubba. So you guys, there was a number of tag teams Jim Cornette was a famous manager for, and he did a good job being a manager for. He's a good mouthpiece. But like we were saying, we were having a problem drawing people in the fans, like getting the fans in the building.
Even before, yeah.
Right, for SmackDown, because they weren't even cracking 5,000. Now that the nostalgia of the shows are coming back, but did you see the price of the tickets? The tickets were $50 and $60, where AEW's tickets were $25 and $20.
Oh yeah, this is going back to like the Arthur Ashe Stadium event for AEW, having tickets sell at a quicker rate than the Madison Square Garden shows that WWE is going to do. But yes, the ticket prices for WWE are 3 and 4 times more.
So,
and people ignore that part. So,
now
AEW's getting put up on a pedestal, Vito. They just cracked 1 million Dynamite last week. Well, guess what? I went back and looked at all the WWE shows. They all went up as well. So I don't know why it's all AEW. I mean, yes, WWE ratings are at record lows, but with fans coming back, it seems like some more interest in wrestling is happening, and the ratings are slowly going up for everybody. Maybe not a lot, but an increase is still an increase. So maybe the fans have something to do with it.
But you got to remember that basketball's winding down.
That's true.
Baseball's not good. Football is not on. That's another deciding factor in this. This is not knocking the product on AEW or the WWE. I'm just giving some things that they fight against, that they have a problem drawing against, and then they're pushed around. Now, are the products good? Right? Let's say AEW and WWE have good products, right? Just not to be negative, okay? Let's say Tony Khan and Vince McMahon, they're putting their best foot forward. Ticket prices are the same. They're $20 each. Which show do you go to?
That's interesting. I'm definitely going to still say WWE if the prices are the same. I mean, just because neither one is showing me better creative and more interesting storylines and matches. So why would I not go to the one that has the better history and the bigger stars, even though they don't have the stars power that they used to? Because AEW to me isn't building stars. So I would still shill out to WWE if you gave me that scenario.
So now here is the thing I would like to get out to the WWE and AEW, right? If they're so in competition, right? And this is coming from an economic standpoint. And the economy the way it is, the business world the way it is. Now, AEW supposedly is making money from their sponsors. The WWE is making money from their TV deals, and they have a profit, right? So if you're making everything comparable and they really want to go head to head, right? How about making $20 seats? Anyway, first come, first serve, $20 tickets. AEW, WWE, same size building, say 10,000. Let's see who draws the most.
WWE would never do that, but yes, that would be great to see, so we can see where everything stands.
Just to see where everything stands. Then you could judge, well, the people are flocking to the AEW product and they're shying away from the WWE product, or they would like to see a better product with WWE, and they feel that that's the best place to be.
Yep. I mean, it would truly give us a gauge, but we'll see. I mean, SmackDown last Friday, wherever they were in Houston or whatever, sold out. So, right. And that was a bigger arena with more expensive tickets than wherever Dynamite was at last Wednesday. Speaking of SmackDown, Vito, Davey Boy Smith Jr. returns after about a decade. He did a dark match on SmackDown, and it looks like he is signed. What will they potentially do with him? He's got the look. He's got the bloodline. I think he's honed his craft since he's been in WWE last. And guess who's back on the main roster?
Who's that?
Finn Balor. So what's your thoughts on those guys?
Harry Smith.
Yep.
I think Harry Smith needs a manager. I honestly think he needs a manager, a mouthpiece for him to be successful. Nothing against his wrestling ability, just his promos, the way he comes across, because I did see his promo. If I was doing it, I would put him with a manager. I would give him a mouthpiece, somebody to talk for him, let him be this kick-ass heel, and let him do his thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's me.
I like that idea.
Now, as far as Finn Balor back on the roster, I think he should stay down in NXT because that's where he's best suited. He's going to get lost in the shuffle up here. He's going to get squashed by somebody. He's going to go back to NXT.
You think we'll see the demon gimmick at all?
Yeah, but who's he going to fight with the demon? If the demon
Reigns,
sell, but
because I don't think he's lost as the demon.
But if the demon doesn't sell and is invincible, is that believable? No.
Unless they do it and he finally sells and like someone like Roman just uses him as another notch on the bedpost, you know?
I mean, who are you going to put him in there? If you put The Fiend in there with Goldberg, if you put him in there with Goldberg, right, everybody will watch to see how fast it's going to take for Goldberg to demolish him.
That's true. And we're going to be talking about Billy Boy here in a little bit, by the way, in the main event.
Okay, go ahead.
So Impact Slammiversary happened last night, and I was getting a headache here, so I'm going to read these off, and you tell me what's significant to you or if none of this matters. We know Impact is very niche. I mean, it's WWE, AEW are the number 1 and 2 in America. Impact is holding on by a thread. Mickie James returned at Slammiversary, as well as other former WWE wrestlers such as Chelsea Green, No Way Jose, which he was, he had a short little gimmicky run in WWE. Thunder Rosa, who's in NWA, she's all over the place. She also showed up last night. And then they have New Japan wrestlers showing up. What's Impact? Jay White, who's one of the Bullet Club guys in New Japan. What's Impact holding on to here? What's going on? Is this really not going to amount for much? I mean, Kenny Omega is their champion, and the numbers are falling. Any thoughts here on Impact wanting to bring all these names back, but does anything really matter?
Well, if they're going to be working with NWA, right, and they brought it, now if they would have just brought Mickie James on and they brought her in as a office, right, to challenge the ladies of the Impact, I think that would have been better than having Thunder Rosa and all the girls do lose on Impact. You know what I mean? Because now you already lost, so what's the big pazoo unless Mickie James is going to wrestle? But if Mickie James loses on Impact, it does nothing for the NWA. Now, the NWA is having this women's tournament
Yep.
that Mickey
Yep.
James is spearheading, right? So I would have liked to see Mickey James appear with the girls behind her that she brought with her to challenge the girls for the NWA tournament, because then it makes it a clean slate.
That's yeah.
As far as No Way Jose and the other people,
And he did the same dancing thing that he did in WWE.
Now ratings rise, right? They're still under 100,000.
Yeah, like they're just not drawing. The whole buzz of this. Remember the AEW Impact thing? It hasn't done anything. Like nothing.
I think they suffered, and they lost a great deal of viewership, and they lost interest and credibility. My view, because once your champion loses to somebody else, and then it's like a mockery of what your company is, and your champion should always be protected.
I like seeing the people get work, right? Not having to work for WWE, but I just don't know how it's holding on right now. I know that Anthem company still owns Impact, so there's some, because they want some TV stuff, just because all these streaming services need some type of content, different content, but I don't know. I'm just not really. I wasn't impressed by any of those names.
Hitman is there. He says these names won't help Impact. Impact guys aren't on AEW TV in matches versus Impact guys to draw attention. Can't count Good Brothers. Nothing to attract new eyes. So you're right. There is nothing to attract new eyes there, and they just did a rerun of all the old talent that was on the WWE that nobody's using. No Way Jose hasn't been on TV. No way, and like the other girls, I said they could have been better utilized in coming out in a strong unit instead of dispersing them for matches.
Now, you know how we're talking about wrestlers returning, and not a knock on Mickey James, and I wish her success on whatever she's doing with Billy Corgan and NWA. But moving on to our main event. So tonight, Lashley defends his title against Kofi Kingston, and I totally expect him to retain the WWE Championship. We've heard Lesnar rumors when he's coming back. We've heard John Cena rumors. Now the big rumor, Vito, and I want your thoughts here, Goldberg coming back to face Lashley. Now, here's my problem. We know Goldberg can't go more than 3 to 5 minutes, right? And that's fine if you design it right and proper. Like the stuff he did with Brock, that worked, right? But here's the thing with Goldberg. WWE brings him back, but he lost that championship match at WrestleMania, the one with no fans, to Braun Strowman in 3 minutes. And then he just lost, I think, at Royal Rumble to McIntyre in 3 minutes. Bringing him back, is our fans supposed to forget that Goldberg is not what he used to be, and he comes back and loses now in short matches?
Hold on. News break. Nikki Cross has won.
She's got the briefcase. The superhero gimmick. There you go. That's what she's doing. What's your thoughts on that?
Congratulations to Nikki Cross. I think it's good. A new face for them to play with.
Stay tuned. Now, Vito, Goldberg. Goldberg versus Lashley is strongly rumored for SummerSlam in Las Vegas.
Guys, we're talking about a surprise for SummerSlam and for Money in the Bank. What about Goldberg being the surprise winner, surprise entrant into the Money in the Bank? Cashes in his case. Now, Goldberg doesn't need the case, but it would be fun to let Goldberg have the case. Because this way, they can save him the time and the preparation, and he could do a 2 or 3 minute thing in the ring where it's a spear jackhammer on a Money in the Bank cash-in, right? He doesn't have to wrestle a full match. That's how I would protect Goldberg, right? So then when he does win the championship, if he cashes in and wins, now you bring Lesnar back. Now it's Lesnar-Goldberg. And if you really, really want to be three-way, you have Bobby Lashley in there.
I think I've heard this through the grapevine somewhere as a scenario. I want you to tell me what you think. Drew McIntyre is in the Money in the Bank match tonight, right? I think he can't directly face Bobby Lashley again.
Right.
He wins it. What if he wins a briefcase tonight? Just saying. Nope. He could. I'm just saying. But I'm looking at what WWE would do, not what they should do, what they would do, because it's always stagnant. Watch him win it tonight. Watch Goldberg get the match with Lashley at SummerSlam. Beat Lashley for the title since Goldberg lost those last 2 matches, right? Why not win the title? And then Drew cashes it in on Goldberg right then and there at SummerSlam and becomes a champion again. Oh, my gosh. I'm just thinking how WWE would try, like Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon. That'll be good, damn it. But guys, no chance in hell? What do you think?
No chance.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, his time as champion is past.
Okay.
His time as a main eventer has passed. He has stepped down from the main event schedule. He's now in the B team.
Okay.
No disrespect to him. This is the way they booked him, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you keep giving him title shots? He already had a numerous amount of title shots. So,
well, but the Money in the Bank would be the way out of that, right? No, because anybody could win it.
I'd rather
like Nikki Cross.
I'd rather see Goldberg win it.
But he's not listed as a participant, so I'm going with if no surprise happened tonight. Then I have to pick somebody that we know.
I don't know. Virtue, I don't see anybody.
I like the surprise. I want Lesnar or Goldberg.
I don't see anybody out there who would be that much of an impact player with Cena coming back and Lesnar coming back, and they already said that they're coming back, right? And I believe I read today that Cena is booked for live events on SmackDown and Raw. They paid him a shitload of money to come back. And he's supposed to work the house shows, he's supposed to wrestle, do SummerSlam and do WrestleMania. So if they need Cena to come back, they're hurting. They need Goldberg to come back, they're hurting. What's to say the Undertaker doesn't make a surprise return? It's a draw.
Because with fans in attendance now and gates needing to be sold, never say never with anything, especially with Vince McMahon pulling his billionaire strings.
So if this happens, right, and I'm watching the highlights of the Rey Mysterio match with the Usos, and it was a screw job finish. It was a good finish, a good heel finish. So now we have new tag team champions. Guys, expect the unexpected. You got to do what you got to do. You're going to like it. You're not going to like it. We gave our points on Impact. I just think that they are trying, but like they're just, they're hanging on. AEW, they need to, they're so into the competition with the WWE. Hey, let's make ticket prices the same. Let's see who draws better. I'm waiting for the night when both of them are running in the same town. Ticket prices are the same. Let's go to work.
I agree. That's all we got for this week, Vito. I mean, you know how we always carry on by the next week. We always got to leave a cliffhanger for people to listen to the next episode of Getting Color. Any last things on your mind?
Nah, I think I said it all today. Guys, leave people alone who are not doing anything to you. And when people are doing their own thing and you're redundant. Vince Russo this, Vince Russo that, Vince Russo. Listen, Vince Russo's my best buddy, right? You don't see me ever mention him on any of my stuff, right? And why? Because there's no reason to. He does his own thing. I do my own thing. I'm not trying to bug Russo to get ratings. Can I start a fake feud with Russo and go all over and give out all false information and make a catastrophe of things? I could do that. But what is that going to get me? It's bullshit. Just like Meltzer and this fucking Tony Khan and all this shit that they say. And this even goes, when guys go on their own podcasts, I'm not going to name names, and they go after Russo, and they talk about Russo, and Russo this, and Russo. Guys, leave the fucking guy alone. Just leave him alone. It's just fucking.
Because they haven't produced, they're mad at him because nobody can produce what he did.
I guess it has to be because if you're still bugging somebody, he's relevant, right? And then when you got to put out false news, how relevant are you?
It's true.
All right, Virtue, close it up. Thank you very much,
MV Hitman 73 was like, Vito, refresh our memory of Meltzer again. Vito, you don't have to. Go back and rewatch the beginning of this video, and I'm sure by tomorrow I will clip that great segment that Vito had. So you can follow Vito. You can follow Vito on Twitter at the Big Vito Brand. Make sure you check out Patreon, which is patreon.com/the Big Vito Brand, and you can see Men of Business over there. And of course, I am Virtue. You can follow me on Twitter at NoDQ_Virtue. For Big Vito LaGrasso, this has been Getting Color right here on the BigVitoBrand.com, and we will see you next time.
Racked, stacked, and jacked. Yeah.
Later.
All right. Thank you guys for participating. We greatly appreciate it. Have a good night. I just came for Noel. Really? Really?
Check out Big Vito and Virtue live with Getting Color every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, only on twitch.tv/the Big Vito Brand.
Yeah. I feel like Big Vito. Yeah, I feel like Big Vito. Yeah, feel like Big Vito. Yeah. I said, I'm up next like I got the call from Vito. We not some average Joes, stay escaping from Leos. So call me Big Vito, I got a kick like a shotty. And like Ciroc, you're taking hard shots to the body. They had you in a dress, but you were still styling. And if they talk crap, hit them with the code of silence. Told these haters get off me, your style stays sloppy. Tricking out the rides, I got an iced out jalopy. Cut you off no matter how thin, like salami. So many shots headed towards me, it gotta be a Tommy. Speaking of mafia things, I call it Donnie. So you about to go to sleep, call me Hideo with Tommy. With the GTS, I bet you haven't seen me yet, you seeing stars. I smoked you like a Vito cigar. You're not messing with the squad, especially on the pod. It's no hold bars like this, no DQ.com.